At 7:14 p.m., your group chat flashes one message that detonates your plans. Last-minute tickets. We leave tonight. Your pulse jumps, your cursor drifts to buy, and the budget you swore to guard slides to the edge. Here's the rule that saves you before the slide becomes a fall. When a boundary lives in public, it stops being a negotiation and starts being a standard. One sentence, visible to someone who matters, changes the shape of the night. This is WealthMentorPro, where every lesson is a step closer to your freedom. The power of public number. Explain why a public no reduces slip-ups and keeps you loyal to goals. If that line felt severe, good. Soft lines bend at the smallest push. Public lines don't bend, they anchor. You place them where others can see them, and like gravity, they hold. Think of momentum. Your habits move like a train, heavy and stubborn. A private no is a hand on the rail. A public no is a signal on the track that flips the switch. Example, tell a colleague, no spending on food delivery Monday through Thursday. Then put $30 at the start of the week into a separate home cook envelope. Micro step tonight? Send a single text to that colleague, then set a phone reminder labeled envelope check for Thursday. The first curiosity loop opens here. What exact sentence protects you on the day your resolve cracks? The second loop opens with a question that hurts now but frees you later. How do you keep a no from becoming shame when you stumble? Hold both. They'll land when your focus is thinnest. Picture inertia. Everything you do tends to keep doing. Endless tabs, endless swipes. You don't crush inertia with force, you redirect it with rails. Example, announce in a two-person thread, no opening shopping apps after 9 p.m., and move those apps to a folder named Closed. Microstep. Drag the folder to the last screen, then set Do Not Disturb from 9 to 7. Markets tempt with movement. They whisper urgency, but urgency rarely loves your goals. Declare a window that keeps your hands calm. Example, no checking prices in bed, followed by placing the phone in the kitchen at night. Microstep. Buy a $10 analog alarm and commit to it in a message to a friend with a simple photo of the clock on your nightstand. Now a different kind of pull. Social gravity. People nudge you without meaning to. Drinks after work. Flash sales shared by a cousin. You are not fighting your friends, you're calibrating the field. Example. No unplanned purchases over $50 without a 24-hour delay, shared in a small group chat. Microstep. When a link arrives, reply, considering by tomorrow, and pin that message for yourself. On day 7, the glow fades. You're tired, hungry, and the old autopilot returns with convincing stories. This is where that first loop closes. The sentence that protects you is simple and merciful. I made my no visible and I'll honor it once, just this hour. That line keeps the standard intact without turning a wobble into a spiral. Example, you face a late night cart, you close the tab, jot honored the hour on a sticky note, and send a quick, still closed text to your thread. Microstep. Keep a small pad by your keyboard labeled hours I honored. Let's talk identity because money obeys identity more than math in the short run. Public boundaries shape identity faster than quiet intentions. When you say, I'm the person who doesn't take ride shares under a mile, your legs move before your doubt speaks. Example, text that sentence to a friend, then map a 1-mile radius around your home and office. Microstep, screenshot the map and save it as your phone wallpaper for the week. Some of you fear the spotlight. You don't want applause or policing. Good. You don't need crowds, you need witnesses. 2 or 3 people is enough pressure to steady the wheel without freezing your voice. Example, a thread named Keystone, where you send one nightly line. Kitchen closed by 9, walked home, no carts. Microstep, create the thread, send the first line now, and thank them for keeping you honest. The power of public number. Explain why a public no reduces slip-ups and keeps you loyal to goals. I'm repeating it at the midpoint because this is where drift happens, where ambition quietly bargains with convenience and calls it self-care. Here's the twist most people miss. This isn't about public pressure, it's about cognitive relief. You exit 1,000 tiny debates. You stop burning fuel on whether to break a rule because there is no private courtroom left to argue in. The verdict was posted. Decision fatigue drops, and your best work gets your best energy. 3 switches make this practical and calm. First switch, tie the no to a clock you can touch. When boundaries have a start and finish, your brain relaxes. Benefit, your evenings regain shape, and impulse loses its favorite hour. Example, no purchases after 8:30 p.m., Sunday through Thursday. And you set a smart plug that turns your office lamp off at 8:25. The light goes dark, you stand up, temptation finds a closed door. Second switch, attach a tiny cost to breaking and automate it. Your mind avoids small losses more than it chases small gains, and that's leverage. Benefit, you protect streaks because missing one day now means parting with a little cash. Example, each violation triggers an automatic $15 transfer to a boring savings pot labeled Penalty Pebbles. It's not punishment, it's friction. You feel it just enough to prefer honoring your line. Third switch, give the no a destination you can feel. A no that points nowhere turns brittle, while a no that points forward becomes a bridge. Benefit, every refusal funds a future you can picture, and that picture keeps you patient. Example, no new gadgets until the travel fund hits $2,000, that with every avoided impulse sending $5 to an account named Boarding Pass. On Fridays, you post the new balance to your tiny thread. The numbers become a story your friends know, and you love adding chapters. Let's anchor this with fresh scenarios that might be yours. You freelance and chase every ping. The chase burns your mornings and your margins. Public no. No email before the first 90 minutes of deep work. Example, you send that line to one client and one friend, then put your email app inside a hidden screen. Micro step, create a home screen shortcut that opens your working document instead. The path of least resistance changes, and so does your output. You invest long-term but can't stop peaking. The peaks multiply into tweaks. Public number, no portfolio changes on red days, stated to a peer who understands context. Example, when the screen bleeds, you send them a one-word message, watching. Then you don't touch anything. Micro step, schedule a repeating note on Green Fridays called Review Window, and only adjust then. You're building a certification. Courses keep catching your eye, claiming to shave months off your learning. Public number, no new courses until I complete Module 4, message to a mentor. Example, each finished module earns a simple photo of the completion screen sent to that person. Micro step, write Module 4 by May on a sticky and place it on your laptop's lower left corner where your wrists rest. You cook to save money, but groceries rot in the fridge when weeks get loud. Public no. No buying produce on Sunday unless I've scheduled meals for 3 nights. Text it to your roommate. Example, you share a photo of the schedule on your fridge, then you stick to it. Micro step, lay out 3 pans on the counter as a physical reservation for Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You use credit for convenience, then lose track. Private scolding hasn't helped. Public no. No card swipes for coffee this month. Told to a barista you see often. Example, you place $40 cash in a thin envelope labeled beans, and when it's gone, it's gone. Micro step, put the envelope beside your keys so leaving the house without it feels like leaving without shoes. Now the part the highlight reels skip. When you slip, and you will, you don't whisper or vanish. You name it as it happens and return to the line. The second loop closes here. You avoid shame by using a restoration phrase that locks the door behind you. Say, I broke the line once today. I restored it now. Then prove it with a tiny act. Example, after a late scroll, you place the phone in the bathroom and wash your face. The act becomes your receipt. Over time, your environment learns your signals and helps you keep them. Colleagues stop inviting you to late budget breakers because your lamp turns off and your office goes dark. Friends stop sending flash sales at midnight because your replies arrive in the morning, calm and clear. You redesign the field by declaring the rules where others could see them. If you want to raise the stakes gently, align your no with a small social promise. Example: no new subscriptions until I finish editing this video, told to one creator friend with a Saturday noon check-in. At 11:58, you export. At 12:02, you send the file. The relief tastes like progress, and the progress compounds into pride. Your money, your focus, your time, these are not chaotic rivers. They obey gravity, friction, and slope. You change all three with public boundaries. You increase friction on the wasteful path. You add slope toward the goal. You let gravity pull you the right way. One more piece before we close. There's a simple ledger that turns this from idea to instinct. Get a notebook or a single note in your phone titled No Ledger. At the top, write one sentence in ink you can't erase. No purchases over $50 without a 24-hour delay. Sign and date it. Take a clear photo. Send it to your tiny thread. The signature matters more than the ink because a signature is a story you tell about who you are. On the nights that test you, return to that photo. Hear the version of you who signed it. Let their voice outrank the pop-up and the ping. Remember the opening moment, that urgent invite, that racing heart. Now picture the calm that followed, not because you hid, but because you declared your standard where it could stand. That's the real power here. A public boundary shrinks flip-ups, not by making you louder, but by making your path unmistakable. You stop performing strength and start installing rails. You save dollars that used to evaporate in small decisions, and you save hours that used to disappear into debate. This is Wealth Mentor Pro, and if this helped you steady your course, subscribe for more and keep momentum by watching the video we've lined up next.